Welcome to AI for GIs, Introduction to Artificial Intelligence. Class 17, Data Pipelines and Workflow Automation. Your brigade runs on 6 data systems that do not talk to each other. Right now, a staff officer spends 4 hours every week manually stitching those systems together in Excel. This class replaces that manual process with automation that runs in minutes. You will learn 2 platforms, Pipeline Builder and Power Automate, and when to pick each one. I'm Dr. Justin Webb. 4 objectives. Explain the Pipeline Builder methodology and map it to the building blocks from Class 16. Explain Power Automate's 3 flow types and when each one fits. Select the correct platform given your classification level, data sources, and users. And design a 5-step data pipeline on paper. By the end of this class, you will have the decision framework to build real solutions. Every one of those objectives starts with the same foundation, 5 stages. Every data pipeline follows this pattern. Connect to your sources, ingest the raw data, transform it into something useful, enrich it with AI, output it to a dashboard. The discipline that separates good pipelines from bad ones, define the output first. What does the commander need to see? Work backwards from the dashboard to the data sources. Never start with the data. Start with the decision. Those 5 stages map directly to building blocks you already know. This is where Class 16 pays off. Every pipeline stage maps directly to a building block you already know. The building blocks are the vocabulary. The pipeline is the sentence. 8 stages, 8 building blocks. You already have the pieces. This class teaches you how to assemble them into something that runs without you. So how does the first platform actually work? 6 steps. Add data. Transform it with drag and drop functions. Write custom Python if the built-in library does not cover your edge case. Branch into parallel processing paths. Merge results back together. Deploy to a dashboard on a schedule. The key advantage: Pipeline Builder separates design from execution. You build and test your logic interactively without waiting for full data processing. When you deploy, Foundry handles scale. And those drag and drop transforms deserve a closer look. Over 50 built-in transforms, 0 code, 6 categories, string operations, math, dates, geospatial, document processing, and logic. Each one solves a real military data problem. Parse soldier names, calculate readiness percentages, find days until the next ACFT expiration, extract text from scanned maintenance forms. For anything the library does not cover, write a custom Python function. But most military use cases never need one. That is the toolkit. Here is what it looks like on a real problem. Your G4 needs a weekly vehicle readiness dashboard. 3 systems hold the data. GCSS Army tracks 2,400 vehicles. LMP tracks 15,000 parts records. DTMS tracks 3,200 operator qualifications. No single system gives the full picture. Only a pipeline can join all 3 into one view the commander can act on. Right now, a staff officer does this manually for 4 hours every week. The question is, how do you wire those 3 sources together? Here is the design end-to-end. Add the 3 data sources. Join GCSS Army to LMP on Vehicle ID. Join DTMS on Operator Qualifications. Calculate days until next service with a custom function. Branch into urgent and routine maintenance paths. Merge with a composite readiness score. Green only if maintenance, operator license, and parts are all current. Deploy to Vantage with a weekly refresh. The commander sees 2,400 vehicles scored by 0600 Monday morning. That is the design. Now what does it actually save? Manual, 4 hours per week, 208 hours per year. Automated, 8 hours to build, then 0 manual effort forever. The pipeline pays for itself in 2 weeks. Every week after that is pure return. And Pipeline Builder adds Git-style version control. So when three staff sections modify the pipeline simultaneously, nothing breaks and every change is tracked. That covers data problems. Process problems need a different platform. 3 flow types. Pick wrong, you rebuild from scratch. Automated flows fire when something happens. A file uploads, an email arrives. Instant flows fire when a human presses a button. Scheduled flows fire on a timer. Over 500 pre-built connectors spanning SharePoint, Teams, Outlook, Excel, and HTTP endpoints for calling external APIs like Ask Sage. Most Army users already have access through Microsoft 365. Here is what a real process problem looks like. Your battalion XO receives 25 emails per day requiring substantive responses, 15 to 30 minutes each. That is 6 to 12 hours consumed daily. The XO's actual job gets squeezed into whatever time remains. Here is the insight. 80% of those emails ask questions that have been answered before. The answers exist, scattered across SOPs, memos, and past correspondence. The problem is not knowledge. The problem is retrieval. And retrieval is exactly what RAG was built to solve. This architecture combines everything from classes 9, 16, and 17. An email arrives. The flow extracts key phrases, searches an Excel knowledge index of 150 pre-written entries, retrieves the top 3 matching documents from SharePoint, and sends everything to the Ask Sage API. The AI generates a draft grounded in your unit's actual documents, not generic knowledge. This is RAG. The AI cannot hallucinate because it answers from your files. Now watch how all 9 building blocks show up in one flow. 9 steps. All 9 building blocks from class 16 in a single flow. Trigger, action, loop, condition, AI integration, data transformation, human approval gate, and error handling. Everyone present. The non-negotiable step is number 7, the human approval gate. No AI-drafted email leaves the XO's inbox without human review. That is the line between automation and abdication. So what does the XO actually get back in return? The XO recovers 5 to 8 hours per day. Instead of writing responses from scratch, the XO reviews AI-drafted responses in 2 to 3 minutes each. 500 emails per month. 1.25 million tokens per month. Budget that with your G6. One important note. The HTTP connector to Ask Sage requires Power Automate Premium licensing. Confirm your unit's licensing tier before building flows that depend on it. But none of that matters if the flow breaks silently. 3 mechanisms. Run after configuration lets you define what happens when a step succeeds, fails, times out, or gets skipped. Scope blocks implement the try-catch pattern. Group actions together, and if any action fails, the catch block logs the error and sends a notification. Retry policies handle transient failures with exponential backoff, up to 90 attempts. Use all 3. A flow without error handling is a flow waiting to fail silently. Now step back and compare both platforms side by side. Pipeline Builder and Power Automate are not competitors. They solve different problems. 9 factors. The one that matters most. Pipeline Builder handles data problems. Power Automate handles process problems. Pipeline Builder joins millions of records. Power Automate routes tasks between people. Many real solutions use both platforms together. Use that comparison as your decision reference. The real test is applying those factors to actual scenarios. 5 scenarios, 5 decisions. Combine 3 large datasets into a readiness dashboard. Pipeline Builder. Auto draft email responses with AI. Power Automate. Extract data from 500 reports. Either platform works. Depends on where your data lives. Daily readiness email. Power Automate. Predictive maintenance from 2.1 million historical records. Pipeline Builder. The wrong choice does not mean failure. It means friction. But regardless of which platform you pick, errors happen. Both platforms handle errors, but differently. Pipeline Builder catches type mismatches at build time before deployment. Power Automate discovers them at runtime. Pipeline Builder flags errors instantly during design. Power Automate requires a test run. The principle is the same for both. Every automated workflow in a military context must have explicit error handling. No exceptions. Zero silent failures. A failed order in commerce means an unhappy customer. A failed supply request in the military means mission failure. A silent data error in commerce means lost revenue. A silent data error in the military means a soldier is not notified of a critical personnel action. That is why you budget 20 to 30% additional design time for error paths. A 9-step flow becomes a 14-step flow when you add proper error handling. This is not overhead. This is the cost of reliability. Here is exactly what that looks like with real numbers. What happens when a 1% error rate hits 4,200 records? 42 soldiers with incorrect readiness data on the commander's dashboard. 12 of those involve medical flags showing green when the soldier is actually red. The commander deploys 3 soldiers who are medically non-deployable. That 1% error came from a date format change in MedPros that the pipeline silently skipped. With error handling, those 42 records get flagged as stale data instead of displaying outdated green indicators. So how do you keep pipelines from breaking when multiple people edit them? Monday morning, the dashboard is broken. Who changed what? Pipeline Builder solves this with get-style collaboration. Branch. Create a development copy. Develop. Make changes without touching production. Merge. Compare every change side by side with automatic conflict detection. Audit. Every modification logged with who, what, and when. The who broke the dashboard problem is solved permanently. Power Automate takes a different approach to the same problem. 3 environments. Development for building and iterating freely. Test for validating with real data before going live. Production for managed deployment that cannot be directly edited. The principle is identical to Pipeline Builder. Never modify production directly. All changes flow through development to test to production. Both platforms protect you from the same problem. 6 principles. Data pipelines follow the universal 5-stage pattern, and you always define the output first. Pipeline Builder handles data problems. Power Automate handles process problems. Platform selection is about fit, not capability, and many solutions use both. Error handling is non-negotiable. 1% across 4,200 soldiers means 42 wrong records. And collaborative development prevents the Monday morning who broke it disaster. Read the lesson for the full design patterns. Here is what comes next. Next class, we build AI agents. Agent Studio and Ask Sage, the 10-step agent design methodology, and how to engineer bounded autonomy. That is Class 18. Stay connected with AI for GIs on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Visit the full course at the link below. I'm Dr. Justin Webb. Thanks for joining me for AI for GIs.